Insomnia is one of the most common problems in modern society. We're always wired, and then we're tired, can't fall asleep, and then it's hard to put out productivity the following day. So today we're reviewing a potential solution to the insomnia problem, Silenor, and we're going to look at the potential side effects that one might experience if you're prescribed this drug for sleep. Let's go. All right, so the first side effect on Silenor was tiredness, and that was noticed in 3.4% of users. Now, just to put that in perspective, if my little abacus here, we've got, if each of these is a patient, we've got 10 patients, 10 rows, that's 100 patients. So we would only expect 3 out of this group to suffer with tiredness. So if that's the worst you can expect from this drug, we can already tell that it's probably going to be fairly well tolerated. All right, so moving on. Next in at half the rate, roughly, was nausea in 1.4% of users. Then coming in at number 3 was drowsiness in 1.1% of users. Hey, hold up a second. You might be wondering though, what's the difference between drowsiness or somnolence and tiredness or fatigue? Well, in medical circles, we actually have very specific meanings behind this. So tiredness or fatigue means that the more effort you put out, so the more work you produce, the more tired, the more sleepy you feel. With drowsiness or somnolence, it's the opposite. The more you relax, the more sleepy you get and want to go have a nap. So that's the difference between the two. Glad you picked up on that. All right, number 4 was taste distortion. That was noticed in 1% of users. That being said, that is not even near the taste distortion that you experience with Zopiclone or Imavane. That to me is the worst. You wake up in the morning feeling like you were sucking on a copper penny the whole night. I've never had any patients that complained of any lasting or persisting taste distortion on Silenor. All right, number 5, we're looking at anxiety in 1%. Not sure where that's coming from, because you would think medication that's making you feel sleepy should also make you feel more relaxed. So, yeah, I'm not sure of the correlation there. Number 6, vomiting in 0.8% of users, which is pretty minuscule. Next up is body aches, number 7 at 0.6% of users. And this might be explained by the fact that when you're sleeping deeply, you may not move as much as you normally would if you were restless and tossing and turning. So sometimes you might sleep with your neck crooked or your back in an awkward position, and then you wake up the following day feeling a bit sore. It's all good and worth it. Coming in at number 8 was hypertension, and that was at 0.5% of users. I personally have not seen this demonstrated in my patient population, and to me it's a bit inexplicable. I'm not sure why that would lead to hypertension. Again, one would think that a medication that's making you more relaxed should actually lower the blood pressure, not increase it. Okay, and coming in at number 9 and 10 are both related at 0.4% of people complain of dry mouth, and as a consequence, also 0.4% of people complain of having upper respiratory tract infections. And I think we can explain this again by somebody sleeping really deep. Very often will start opening their mouth and breathing through their mouth, breathing very deeply. And those kind of respirations can dry out the respiratory tract, making it easier to wake up with dryness. And consequently, by that dryness might also create hostilities in the lining, which then allow bacteria and germs to get in. So overall, folks, I would say a very well tolerated medication for insomnia. But remember, before considering a drug for insomnia, you should first always make sure that you've tried sleep hygiene. And what we mean by that is making sure your room is dark, making sure it's quiet, not too hot, not too cold. Wear eye mask if the light's bothering you. Wear earplugs for sensory deprivation if it's too loud in the room. If that fails, then move on to step 2, which is to try natural products. So that's where you would try your melatonin, your valerian root, warm milk, chamomile tea, that kind of stuff. If you fail both those, then you'll go on to step 3, which is use a medication like this fella. All right, guys, so I hope you have a terrific sleep tonight, and best wishes to you, and you're welcome.